baby.
Yeah.
Miracle, miracle, serves. Miracle, miracle, serves. Miracle, miracle, serves. Miracle, miracle, serves.
We keep having all these problems. How we gonna solve them? Every day it's the same thing. Yeah. All these unsolved issues. I guess it's official. Here we go again, the same old thing. And I'm tired. Are you winning? So goodbye.
As y'all can see, I'm trying some new stuff. Give me a second. Hold on. Hey, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. All right, let me get into it. Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is November the 9th, 2024, and today the topic is Imposters and Hypocrites. Happy Saturday. It's happy Saturday, everybody. I hope you guys had a wonderful week. When was the last time I talked to y'all? Whatever day that was, my days have been fine. Yes, my days have been fine overall. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on with your girl. Y'all might be noticing there's a change of scenery. I've just figured I'd do something different today, whatever the case may be. Yeah, man, there's a lot that has been on my heart and mind. Your girl's still been dreaming and things of that nature, still been getting revelations and everything like that. Been making observations too, look, and praying about it, because I'm like, Lord, what you want me to do about this, because yeah, what the last time I was here, what was that? That was what? Today's the 9th, so it was the 6th. Golly. Y'all should thank my husband this morning as well, because we was having a conversation. We had a little chit chat, and I was like, yeah, I'm wondering, should I just show people the old juices, because I don't know, I haven't really been felt led to go every day. And he's like, you ain't been doing the juice every day? I said, no. I was like, nah. He's like, so you ain't been doing what you've been doing for the past, he said for the past 2 years. It's almost 5 years now. But anyway, he's like, so you ain't been doing what you've been doing for the past few years? I'm like, well, no, but I mean, I haven't felt led to go. Like, I haven't felt led to share, or, I've still been getting up in the morning. I've still been getting juice. I've still been, studying and doing all that, but I just haven't shared it with y'all, or whatever the case may be. And then he was like, what about like that guy? So shout out to you and over there in Australia. He was like, what about that guy that been watching every day? He probably gonna be like, ain't no new juice. And when he said that, I just was like, golly, something hit, like, okay, husband, little accountability, So I guess I got quite a few accountability partners, including him. But I don't know. So I thought about it, and because it had been on my heart and mind to ask y'all what y'all thought. And so for those that are following the God, Sex, and Love YouTube channel, and even the other platforms, I put it out there. I was like, do y'all miss the juice being every day, and everything like that? And the last time I looked, I had at least one person that said they did miss it. And I just was like, you know what? I'll be obedient, Lord. You know what I'm saying? So I went through my process. I listened to the Soul Space app. And after I listened to that, I was praying or whatever. And then this thing I know, imposter, that came into my heart and mind. I was like, oh, Lord. I was like, Lord, what? I mean, because I ain't gonna lie, man, I've been observing a lot of things over this past week. We already know about the election, all that type of stuff. I don't know if the Lord wants me to like just say exactly how I've been feeling or what. So I'm gonna pray about that as I do this. But I always pray that the Lord say whatever he want to say through me. Like every time before I go live, that's usually what I'm praying. And so at the end of the day, I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. I ain't trying to step on no toes, like none of that type of stuff. But I'm just, y'all know, I try to be open, honest, and transparent here on this platform. You know what I'm saying? I don't be trying to like lie, nothing like that. But at the same time, I know it's important to share the truth in love, right? So even with this conversation about imposters and hypocrites, I know that it's so easy to look and point and say, yeah, that's what they being, and that's what you being, and stuff like that. But I think today's conversation is more so us taking a look in the mirror and asking ourselves, is that me today? If you listen to the sound of my voice, man, I hope that you're encouraged and inspired to do that. There in the midst of my prayers this morning, I was like, Lord, yes, I was thinking about the cultivation period, because yes, that was that particular time in my life where I was like, Lord, okay, what is it that you want to do with me then? You know what I'm saying? What is it? And I talked about this the last time I was here, so I don't think I need to get back into it. But at the same time, I understand that there's a lot of new people on the platform, and so y'all may not know me, my testimony, and all that type of stuff. So that's why I often share it again and again and again. But anyway, with that being said, I took some time and I was thinking about that this morning, and I was just thinking about, again, the things that I'm observing in other people. I'm like, well, Lord, I want to help. Like, I'm here to help anybody that's willing to do the work. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, the only thing that got me to be where I am today, mentally, as well as I think just in marriage and in just everything, what got me to be here today is for me to have to humble myself and seek the Lord and ask him, his will for my life and things of that nature. And I feel like in the things that I'm observing, right, for those that may be confused and lost and all that type of stuff, I'm like, all you got to do, and I hate to say it like this, but I mean, in my heart and mind, what I've been saying over the past week as I've been making observation is, all you got to do is ask the Lord. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is, humble yourself and say, you know what, Lord, okay, I don't understand this or that. Why did this happen? X, Y, and Z. And that's what started this process of me, like, getting the revelations. You know what I'm saying? That's what opened my eyes all them years ago. That's what, I guess, led me to Allie, right? That's what led me on this path that I'm on, of understanding. And I get it. It can be difficult, especially if it's something that don't align with what you think, right? Or what you want, or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, again, you got to ask yourself, do you really believe the word of God? You know what I'm saying? Do you believe the Bible? Because at the end of the day, not only are you going to have to give up your idea, right? But you probably have to give up some family, some friends, all of that. You know what I'm saying? To stand on the word of God. Like, that's what the Bible is telling us. I don't know why any of us is thinking something else. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, like, and that's what has had me flabbergasted for the past few months, definitely, but definitely over this week as well. Because I'm like, anybody, and I hate to say common sense, but biblical sense. Let's talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody with some biblical wisdom, knowledge, and things of that nature, clearly seeing what happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I hate to say that if you didn't see that, you may not be in alignment with the word, but that's the only way I can say. I don't know. That's what the Lord just said to me. Okay. So, I mean, if you, I mean, and I get it, right? I get it, because we're all humans, and and even as I was reflecting on just different things I was reading in the Bible and different things like verses and whatnot, I came across a verse that was talking about where Jesus had told the disciples basically that the spirit of Elijah had already come through John the Baptist, X, Y, and Z. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Because, I done heard about, like, you got, they talk about those two witnesses in the end times, and people say that it might be like Moses and Elijah to come back based on the what those individuals are going to be doing, like, calling fire from heaven and different things of that nature. Who knows? I'm like, is it Enoch and Elijah? Because they the only ones that didn't, quote unquote, die, and stuff like that. But then so when I saw that verse this morning, I say all that to say, when I saw that verse this morning about Elijah's spirit already, basically had come back through what my understanding of it when I first saw it was that, did Elijah's spirit come through John the Baptist? I was like, did that already happen? But then I was going deeper about it, and then got the understanding that it was more so a continuation of Elijah's spirit and what he had, like, started, or whatever the case may be, not necessarily Elijah being in John. You know what I mean? But anyway, but as I was going through all of that, at some point I was like, Lord, this whole thing is just so deep that, like, there's no way we can all we can get a full understanding of everything the Bible's talking about. Like, there's no way. Like, even if we sit here and, like I said, y'all see me sitting here studying every day, even though I'm gonna do my best to get back on it, because obviously I need to. So so y'all hadn't seen it every day, but even with me, for example, studying every day and things of that nature, there's still so much where I'm like, Lord, I need you to help me understand this or that. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same Bible, like, and nothing changed about it. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, the more you go deeper with it, and the more you get revelations, and you know, and the more he talks to you through whatever means, whether it's people, dreams, whatever it is, like it's just it's a beautiful experience, but at the same time, it's like, oh, it can be overwhelming sometimes, right? To be like, wow, man, this is just huge. Like, and then to think that those biblical figures, like, they didn't have all the technology that we have today, right? They didn't have, you know, even the Bible, you know what I mean? Like, all they had was like maybe some scrolls, you know, and then I guess the testimonies of their you know, ancestors, I guess you would say, you know what I'm saying? But so, and obviously they still have way more knowledge and revelation than we even have, because we trying to study what they are talking about, you know what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful thing, but at the same time, it's like a lot, you know what I mean? It can be a lot. But so with all that being said, I told you guys pretty much where inspiration came from. And yeah, so let's get into it. Let me share these verses and whatnot that the Lord then gave me this morning. Yes. So the conversation, like I said, isn't necessarily about those imposters and those hypocrites, right? It's more so a conversation for us to have with ourselves about, is this me today? Am I being an imposter? Am I being a hypocrite? I think that is the real question that we all, right, should ask ourselves. But I would say especially believers, because, you know, for obvious reasons. Like, do I have to go deeper about why we should do that? Yeah, because I just feel like and well, okay, so I had to humble myself. I was praying about all this. I'm like, Lord, you know, you know, because you see people posting on social media, and then when you put something on social media, at the end of the day, like, technically anybody can comment, right? And anybody can say their opinion about whatever you posted. But at the same time, too, I'm like, I know sometimes people just post something and then they don't want no feedback. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to know or whatever. And I ain't trying to get into no debates like that. At the end of the day, especially when it comes to Bible and stuff, it's like, you know, it say what it say. Now, I know that somehow we can get different interpretations of stuff, but at the same time, not really, because I'm like, you know, ain't nothing going to change like the words there, you know what I'm saying? And so really it's you that have to change with what the word in the Bible is saying. And I think that's what I feel like a lot of us, and myself included at one point, I'm not sitting here trying to act like I'm perfect. All I'm saying is that in my moments of confusion and in my moments where I'm like, that I was faced with the choice to either ask the Lord or go my own way, I decided to ask the Lord. And that's, again, those what got me to be who I am and where I am today. And I just encourage, right, and it's hopefully inspire the next person to do that, at least do that, rather than continue down this path and then become by default a yes imposter and yes hypocrite. So let's talk about them words, okay? Imposter. So the definition I came across this morning says people who falsely claim to be something they're not. It was going on to say more about like those type of people, they are doing it for nefarious reasons, right? They are doing it to, you know, for some type of gain or whatever. So they pretend, right, to be something that they're not. Again, I know that it may be difficult, right, to look and see if that's in yourself, right? Am I pretending to be something that I'm not? You know, because a lot of us think that this is me or whatever the case may be. But I'm not, again, this conversation is for believers today, all right? So if you're a believer, right, I think what will help us see if we are pretending to be something that we're not is that, again, getting that Bible, right, and holding it up as a mirror and seeing what it shows you and says. Because we have to, everything that we think, right, and do and things of that nature, we need to be going to the word and making sure, right, that is what we should be thinking and doing. Again, unbelievers, y'all, this goes over your head because y'all don't, you know, y'all ain't acknowledging the Bible at all already, you know. But for those that claim to be believers, like, this is what we got to do to like make sure, because at the end of the day, again, we can easily get like straight, we can easily sway and think, you know, because we got our own ideas, right? And then we can be influenced by culture and all the things around us to then and then put the Bible on the back burner and then get confused when things play out the way they do or whatever the case may be. So just throwing it out there, again, yes, we got to all look and see, are we being imposters today? Are we being something that we truly aren't? And I know I called this out, and but I tend to say this, and I don't know if, am I wrong to say, am I wrong to say this, Lord? Well, what I usually say is this right here. Like, if you not really a believer, right? Or if you are like claiming to be a believer, but like, and it's one thing, like, it's one thing to be on a journey, right? And you may not know everything, and none of us do, right? None of us know all the things. And so, and to ask questions of the Lord and stuff like that, like, you're going through a journey, right? But you still, again, your actions are sharing and saying who you are if you are going to the word with your issue, right? About whatever the issue is. It don't matter what it is. If you're going to the word with your issue, then yeah, you're probably not being a hypocrite, right? Or we're still talking about imposter right now. You're probably not being an imposter because you're seeking the Lord for the wisdom, which is what the Bible tells us to do, right? But if you are somebody that's like, oh yeah, I believe the Bible, and then you don't acknowledge it in any of the ways, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to the word about who, all right, well, going to the word about all things, I'll put it like that. You know what I'm saying? If you're not going to the word about all things, then are you truly a believer in the word? Like, and then if you're not, right, then I think it's just better, and this is my humble opinion, this ain't Bible, okay? I just think it's better for individuals like that. If you're like, I don't want to go to the word about all the things, then stop acting like you're a believer. You know what I'm saying? Because you gonna get in the baby Christian's way and stuff like that, because they're gonna see you, they're gonna see all kinds of people out here claiming to be believers, and then they're like, oh yeah, I want to be that type versus that type, or whatever the case may be. And then, in a way that blood is on your hands. So at the end of the day, like, if you ain't like truly going to the word with every aspect of your life, then stop claiming to be a believer. Like, just don't until you get there. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's just my humble opinion. I mean, I don't know, maybe the Lord wants you to, I don't know, seek the Lord more about that. But that's just my humble opinion, because I just feel like when you do that, then you're putting yourself out there or something, and then you're not that thing, and then people are watching you. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, and it's not about being perfect or nothing like that. Like I said, I come over here all the time and talk about how I'm asking questions. I'm like, Lord, I don't understand this, I don't understand that. X, Y, and Z. That's one thing, but I think it's a totally different thing to, again, yes, be an imposter, right? To say you're something and then you're not that thing. So we got that definition. Let's go to the next one. So hypocrites, y'all. Okay. So this is what the definition of hypocrite says. It says, those who say one thing but do another. So yeah, I mean, and it went on, and I think I didn't write it down, but basically the rest of that definition was talking about, like, or the definition that I came across this morning was talking about, like, in regards to believers, like, saying, oh yeah, I'm a believer, and then everything, your actions don't align with that. You know what I'm saying? Same as hypocrite, or same as imposter, in some ways. But yeah, it's about what you do, basically, the hypocrite part. It's about what you're doing. And so, again, if you are a believer, I think, again, the actions and the signs and the fruit of that will be, again, going to the Lord, going to the Bible, praying, all those different type of things will, again, it's not about, again, being perfect, right? It's not about being exactly, we are all striving to be more like Christ. None of us ain't never going to achieve that, I don't think, you know what I'm saying? But we are striving to be more like him, right? And so if you're not striving to be more like him, then, I mean, you might be a hypocrite, you know what I'm saying? And we have to look at ourselves in the mirror and say that to ourselves, is what I'm saying. Like, I have to look at myself, like, I guess I'm looking at myself in this image there and be like, Miracle, are you a hypocrite? Are you an imposter based on what you do, right? Not just what you say, but what you do. And so, I don't want to keep talking about the election, but I don't know if the Lord want me to. Lord, you want me to talk about the election? I just, like I said, I guess for me, it's just been very sad. I've been sad, and I've been like, I guess, disappointing in fellow believers for those that truly don't see. Because I feel like everything is in our face. It's so in our face that it's like, how in the world can you not see? Like, I mean, I done said it on this platform numerous times, but here it is again. Like, I'm homeschooling my son for a reason. It ain't just because, it's I want to see what he's learning. Like, I want to see these ideals and whatnot that he's that being taught in the school system. From what I see, it's completely different from when I was coming up. Like, I didn't have nobody having me to question who I was from that young age. You know what I'm saying? But on the flip side, what I'm seeing, even in the preschools and in the, elementary schools and things of that nature, it's one thing if you want to talk about certain stuff in high school, maybe. But even that, because, like I said, I had a conversation with a friend of mine who's a teacher, and this was some years ago, but I had a conversation with her, and she was talking about how, I guess she was kind of pro-abortion or whatever, and I was like, huh? But anyway, but then she was like, oh yeah, because, what about the young girls? Because X, Y, Z. And I'm like, but health class teach you what, you know what I'm saying, procreation is. Like, you should know, if you're having sex, the results of having sex. Like, one of those results is creating a life. Like, but she was saying that, oh no, health isn't teaching that, so they don't know. What do you mean? So what is health teaching? Because when I was in health, I remember learning about body parts, you know what I'm saying? The male genitalia, the female genitalia, and all those different type of things. So what are they teaching in health then? And how do they not know? And if they don't know, then why are you having sex? This is God, sex, and love. We say sex here, okay? and in all the words, I don't censor that. You know what I'm saying? So, and I get it. We talk about, the rape and the incest, X, Y, and Z. And I'm not making light of those things because those things are real. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother conversation. That's not the majority of what's happening here. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real. And it's so interesting because even this morning, all right, Lord, you got me talking, but okay. Even this morning, I saw this video. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I just saw like people was advertising it, and they were like, I guess there's some feminists that are saying that they're not. I guess they're not going to have sex with men now because of the situation or the results from the election. And it's like, well, great, because at the end of the day, if the problem is, abortions and whatnot and things, then, hey, yeah, don't do the thing that would cause you to have to get an abortion. You had that choice before, you know what I mean? Like, what you had. All right. So let me get to some Bible because maybe I'm doing too much talking right now. But yeah, let's not be neither one of those, right? Let's not be imposters and hypocrites at the end of the day. It doesn't do any good, right? For you, right? And for other people, like to fake the funk at the end of the day, right? Now I know people say fake it till you make it and all. There's all these kind of little phrases out there, that make it seem like, it's a good idea. And I'm not talking about walking by faith and claiming things before they come. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, again, you and your actions not aligning with like what you claim to believe. And if you claim to be a believer and believing in the Bible, then your life need to reflect that. Not about being perfect, because we can't be that. But it's about, again, humbling your idea, yourself, your thoughts, all these things to the Lord and seeking him for the wisdom and things of that nature. And then maybe, you can get an understanding once you go to the one that got the wisdom. I've just been sad for my fellow believers this week. I've just been like, Lord, what? I mean, I know I went through my journey and I get it. I think the thing that I've been learning, so those that feel like me, anybody else that feels like me out there and you're frustrated with other people, we got to love people like Christ at the end of the day, right? And we had grace and mercy to go through our journey and get to where we are. So we got to, extend that grace and mercy to other people. And so that's why I've been trying to, like I said, even with the last conversation that I had on here, I tried to create something that would help those individuals, see that, again, sometimes our ways don't align with God's ways and his will and what he wants. And so, so that's what's going on. If you're confused or whatever the case may be, and you can go to him for the wisdom to get the understanding of why things went the way they did or whatever the case may be. Right. And again, once I've humbled myself to do that, then I'm at peace. But that's just my personal testimony. But we can all experience that, is what I'm saying. It ain't just for me, right? Like everybody can experience that. But you got to humble yourself to the Lord, and be like, Lord, okay, your will be done. You know what I'm saying? And mean that for real and live accordingly. Like, it's one thing to say that and then just be like, but I'm mad though. You know what I'm saying? And you can have your feelings. I mean, the Lord gets mad. You know what I mean? So we're made in his image. So if we get mad, he gets mad, no judgment in that regard. I'm just saying that it's just very interesting to me. But anyway, let me give you some Bible, because I guess I'm doing a lot of talking this morning. All right. So Luke 6:46, it says, why do you call me Lord, Lord, and not do what I tell you? Why do you call me Lord, Lord, and not do what I tell you? At the end of the day, again, if you're doing that, right, if you're calling God your Lord and you say you believe in Jesus and things of that nature, then you need to be doing what he tell you. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't do that, then he's asking you today, why do you call me that and you don't do what I tell you? Because, that's what you do. That's how you show reverence to the Lord, by doing what he told you to do. I ain't got nothing else to add to that. That's just Bible. It's by itself. Do I need to break that down? All right. So then Romans 2:3. Now this whole thing might be pulp. Y'all might not like nothing I'm saying today, but here it is. Okay, Romans 2:3. It says, do you suppose, oh man, you who judge those who practice such things, and yet you do them yourself, that you will escape the judgment of God? Ooh. Do you do that? Like, again, I have to, and I'm saying all these things, but at the same time, again, this goes for me too, okay? This goes for all of us. At the end of the day, if you're going to be doing the things that you're trying to call out on other people, you just like them people he's talking about, they got the log in their eye, trying to call out somebody with the splinter or whatever you want to, the analogy is, you know what I'm saying? So let's not do that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and then I think a lot of us is guilty of that. And that's the thing, that it's like everybody's calling out hypocrite and all this stuff right now. But at the end of the day, no, that's what you're being. Like stop. Like, let us all just take a look at ourselves. That's the main thing of this whole thing. Like, just take a look at yourself and make sure that that's not what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like, again, it just doesn't, it's not beneficial to you, like I said before, and it's not beneficial to others for us to fake the funk and then point out what we think is wrong in other people, or whatever the case may be, and then not see what that is truly us that defines all the things. Get some more Bible. Titus, I think, is the next one. Let me see. Yep, Titus 1:16. It says, they profess to know God, but they deny him by their works. They are detestable, disobedient, unfit for any good work. Ooh. Look, like, I don't want that to be me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how y'all feel about that. Maybe you don't care about it at all. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want that to be me today. You know what I'm saying? I want to be fit for some good work, right? I don't want to be detestable. I don't want to be disobedient at the end of the day, right? And so that's how you're doing it. If you're denying the Lord by his works, right? By your works, right? So how can we profess to know God if there's no transformation in your life? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can we profess to know God if there's no growth, maturity, and you're not humbling yourself to his will and way, and what the Bible say? Let's just stay there. What the Bible say. If you're not humbling yourself to what the Bible says, then what the Bible say, because let me stop saying my personal opinion. The Bible says, again, it's better to be cast in the sea with a millstone, right, than to make somebody else stumble, especially the young babes, children. But we could talk about spiritual children as well, right? Like those that are like just now coming to Christ, and then they seeing all different types of Christians out here and whatnot, and you one of them ones that's being an imposter and hypocrite, and they watching you, right, as their mentor, whatever the case may be. The Bible says it's better for millstone to be on your head and you cast in the sea or your net. Now, all I said earlier was it's better for you to just figure out your own stuff before you like put yourself out there or whatever. But I mean, but see, the thing is that's difficult because if you have kids, your kids is watching you. You know what I'm saying? So you are already making disciples, or you should be, in your household, right? And so again, if you're being an imposter and hypocrite just in your regular life, and your kids is watching the same thing, right? I mean, I don't know if I'm the only one receiving this morning, but I mean, just something to think about. Last verse that I felt led to share with you guys this morning is James 1:22. It says, "But be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves." At the end of the day, you are only deceiving yourself to do that. You're not deceiving God, and well, you might deceive some other people, but mainly you're deceiving yourself at the end of the day. And so, but you're not deceiving God. And so, I would take that verse and then that other one, that the other warning there that say you judge and practice such things and then you do them yourselves. Do you think you're going to escape the judgment of God? Like, you're not. We're not going to escape the judgment of God, right? So at the end of the day, he knows all things. He knows your heart. He knows if you're truly, a follower of his and things like that, or if you're just being an imposter and a hypocrite. And I mean, I think I've given the juice today. At the end of the day, again, the juice is to more so look at yourself. Yes, it's easy to call out somebody else. And yes, there's more Bible and verses you guys can go deeper about this conversation in general. But I hope that we all are encouraged and inspired to take a look at ourselves today. So matter of fact, the Go Deeper section, even though, yes, I put, the verses that I found at openbible.info, I put those there as well for you all to peruse and let marinate on your heart, souls, and mind. But there's also a challenge. There's practical steps, friends, practical steps for self-reflection and growth, okay? It goes a little deeper in the Go Deeper section, so guys can see more details about these things. But there's like four things to think about. So at this point, if this is pricking your heart and mind right now, and you're truly asking yourself, you know what, am I a hypocrite? Am I a imposter? Then this is what you can do to find out, right? So prayer and self-reflection, okay? Prayer and have some self reflection and examination. Again, there's more information to go deeper about that in the Go Deeper section or the show notes, or wherever you guys may see or hear this. But that's the first thing. Pray and, examine yourself and ask the Lord, is this me? Maybe I'll go deeper about this when I get done with the juice recording this part in the after show. So we'll see. But anyway, the next thing is accountability. All right. This might be that time to, go to, Bible believing, mentor or parent or who, yes, your girl is available. Okay. If I need to be that for you, accountability, I'm here, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, get some type of accountability to then, go deeper about this, you know what I mean? And seek the Lord about, again, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, like we all got to do that though. That's the thing. Like, we all have to do it. It's not just like a certain group of people or something like that. It's all of us that got to do it. So, yeah. And then let's see. So accountability is the second thing. The third thing is focusing on heart transformation. Focusing on heart transformation. For me, I called that the cultivation period. That was the time where, again, I had to change my heart, change my mind about a lot of stuff in my life. I still got to do that, right? Every day, right? And so, when you come to Christ, the cultivation period is a continuous growth process. So if you have not started that process, then please start. If you have started, then you might be, you'll achieve one thing, and that's cool, but understand that there's another level and things of that nature. They say from faith to faith, right? So yeah, that's just something to think about. But yeah, focus on the heart transformation. And then the last thing is just to pretty much live in the light, or to walk in honesty and integrity. At the end of the day, again, I think that's probably one of the most difficult things, right? To be honest with ourselves, right? About where we are in our life and who we are, like, right now and stuff like that. Because again, we like to think we perfect or something. I don't know why we are like this. Again, maybe it just goes back to being made in God's image, that we think we God and that we have no flaws or something like that. But I think, those of us that, again, we're humbling ourselves and things of that nature, then we're able to see that, you know what, I need some work. You know what I mean? And we all do. Again, we all sin and falling short. So, you're not alone out here at the end of the day. Me too. Right. And so, these are just things to think about. Like I said, you guys can go deeper about all these things. And yeah, that's the juice, y'all. That is the juice today. Now, the Bible verse of today is Colossians 3:12. It says, "Put on, therefore, as the elect of God, holy and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness, of moral meekness, long suffering." Friends, I hope you guys enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all on Monday, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. And there you go, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, anybody listening to the sound of my voice. Hope that you guys are encouraged and inspired. Thank you so much for listening, watching, subscribing, and sharing all those wonderful things. I can't help but notice your girl ain't getting a little comments today, but it's all good. It's all good. As long as you receive what the Lord was saying through on me, it don't matter, man. But yeah, if you guys do have questions or whatever, those of you all that are still here, if you guys have questions about any of the things I was studying or any things I said or whatever the case may be, feel free while I'm here to say something, and I'll let you know. Like I said, if you want me to share more about what I was coming up with when it came to this conversation in general about seeking the Lord about what this means for you as an individual, or like I said, myself as an individual, stuff like that, then I'll share those additional notes right now if you want those. But outside of that, I guess I'll just tell you guys what's going on and then let you go if I don't see you in the comments. But anyway, yeah, man, there's a lot going on. As always, it's always a lot going on. But today might be, I guess, a kind of chill day. I guess we're gonna finally try to get my son's room together, so that'll be something that we're gonna try to work on. Tomorrow is Sunday, so you're gonna be working at the church. But there's also what's event called Ladies' Day. That's supposed to be taking place, so I'll be, I guess, assisting with that tomorrow. So yeah, I feel good though. I feel good about a lot of the things that are on the horizon. Had a meeting with the business coach or whatever yesterday, and so we GodSexandLove.com is going to be changing soon, so that's one thing. I made a new ebook, so that'll be coming out soon as well. But that'll be free. It'll be a free resource for those. I told y'all, I think last time I was here, that we need to make more content for single people and stuff. And I mean, I guess obviously single women, like your girl, right, was I know my business coach kind of humbled me a little bit to say that basically someone like him probably couldn't receive cultivation, even though I don't know, because I do have a client that's a gentleman, you know what I'm saying? So I mean but I get it. I got a niche down apparently or something like that, so I'm gonna focus on, I guess, the single Christian women and make more content and things of that nature centered around that, and hopefully encourage and inspire and help and with their process and whatnot. And so yeah, all of that stuff is exciting things coming up. I told y'all I'm going on a trip next month, right? I'm supposed to go on a trip next month. But I'm probably not gonna be able to go live. So we're gonna see what I end up doing about that. But yeah. But all right, I was just trying to, keep a little time just in case somebody wanted to comment or had any questions, comments, or concerns about any of the things I shared earlier, things of that nature. But I don't see anything, so it seems like everybody's hearts and minds are clear. So I'm gonna let y'all go and enjoy y'all's weekend. But yeah, thank you so much for listening, watching, subscribing, and sharing all those wonderful things. And yeah, I look forward to talking to y'all on Monday, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.